What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Charleston area video. Today we're talking about the traffic in Summerville. We're going from the east side of Summerville to the west side. If you are one of our subscribers that's actually visited Summerville and you've been on a tour with us, you may recognize this tour because this is just about the same route that we take for pretty much every tour that we go on. We have quite a few that we love to take people on, but this is the staple. So you will get to see what the traffic is like. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to do a rush hour one at some point. We can't get to that today, but I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. We are starting where Cane Bay meets Nexton. On the right side of the screen, you're going to see a timestamp, and on the left side of the screen, you're going to see an Apple Maps emblem showing you where we are. But I'll do my best with some B-roll to keep you guys posted as to where we are. Let's get started. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. This is the corner of Cane Bay Boulevard and Highway 176. Highway 176 runs east to west, so if you take a right here, which would be heading west, that goes out towards Holly Hill, Cameron, St. Matthews, and Orangeburg. And if you take a left here heading east, that goes towards Goose Creek, North Charleston, and into the downtown area. Any minute now we'll be taking a left. So the kind of the front part of Cane Bay where we are right now is actually the back part of Nexton. So as soon as you cross this intersection here, that across the street there is the back of Nexton. So there's that's how you would get into Nexton from this direction, which is probably the quicker way to the front part of Nexton that we're going to pass here in a second. But we're going to take a left because I want you guys to see all of 17A, because that's the quote-unquote traffic that people do complain about. I spent a lot of time in DC and New York City, and I've seen that traffic there, and I don't think it's anything comparably. And I do want to do this at rush hour, by the way. I wasn't able to do this one at rush hour. I just don't have the time right now. But if you guys want me to revisit this, do it at rush hour to see traffic at its worst, please comment. I'd be more than happy to do so. Just want to make sure that people actually want that. So as you see, they've got plans to expand the road here. I don't know whether that would be an expansion or an extension, but regardless, they're adding. Plan is to add another lane, I think on each side, so it'll be a 4-lane as opposed to a 2-lane, which is about 10 years overdue. As I said earlier, if you keep going down this highway, you're going to end up in Goose Creek. But we're going to take a right at the stoplight up here, which the stoplight is called Carnes Crossroads, or Carnes Crossing. As you'll see, not as much going on here as there is in other parts of Summerville. Like I said, you know, this video is to give you guys a real feel. There will not be, I mean, I've got to edit it a little bit, but there won't be any crazy edits on this video. It's more or less going to be you guys seeing it for what it is, and we get a lot of questions about what is actually going on in Summerville. We see all these pretty pictures and pretty videos, and people kind of giving things in very short form and short detail. This is a long form video at its best. Just hoping that that I don't run out of room on my phone. That's what you guys are being recorded from today, is my phone. But if it does, I will try it again. Not sure what this is going to turn into on the right here, but I know there's a bunch of development projects in the works. Going to be a golf course in this area. I know they're planning to bring more bars, restaurants, and kind of strip mall type of developments. And we are almost to the stoplight up here. Apologize for shaking. You get to see South Carolina roads too. This one's not as bad as a lot of them, but they aren't wonderful in this great state of ours. The roads, I mean. Hope y'all can hear me, by the way. I have no idea if you actually can or not. I've never recorded on this app, but I saw it shoots 1080p and kind of gives you a record of date and time the whole time, so you'll be able to keep a reference of exactly how big the city is and how long it takes to get from point A to point B, along with just seeing the overall flow of traffic. Try to get around this guy. Okay. So now this is Carnes Crossing. We're leaving Highway 176, taking a right onto 17A, and pretty much the back of Cane Bay, where we were, is pretty much the most east side of Summerville, with this being the most east side of Summerville on the 17A side. So we were kind of just riding along the east side of Summerville there, and now we are heading southeast. This is Carnes Crossroads to our right, the commercial section of Carnes Crossroads, that is. You got some specialty doctor clinics, convenience stores, a deli, quite a few different sorts of restaurants, between like a Mexican restaurant, pizza place, another deli. There's a Sherwin-Williams there. I will say, pretty much every place around this part of town to eat is pretty good, as long as you're not going to one of the franchise, the large franchises. Weather is beautiful today, by the way, 78 degrees. Some clouds in the sky. It rained last night, but really did turn into a nice day before these clouds came in. Hopefully no more rain. All right, so to the left, which I wish you guys could see it a little bit better, that's where the rooftop bar is going to be. And quite a few other little kind of commercial spots. To the right, that's your entrance to the residential Carnes Crossroads. And now we are venturing into Summerville. So if you take a left here, you go to Ladson, South Carolina, small town scrunched between Goose Creek, Summerville, and North Charleston. And left would ultimately lead you to downtown via Ladson to Goose Creek to 26 to the interstate. to get to downtown Charleston. They've made this a lot better over the years. Still has a ways to go, but this is kind of the in-between, is what I call it, between a bunch of different master plan communities and different residential neighborhoods is, you know, what you see kind of going on the right and left right now. A bunch of car places and tire places. Sod stores, convenience stores. But they've done a pretty good job revamping a lot of it. Still, like I said, still have a ways to go, but it's looking better. It is. They just need to make this road wider. But flow of traffic's not that terrible in my opinion. I'm going 40 miles an hour right now in a 45. I don't know if I can go too much faster, but this road does back up in about an hour. You got rush hour traffic starting around 4:45 or so. It starts around 4 or so. Starts picking up around 4. Then around 4:45 or so it gets to right around peak. Peak times to not be driving. Yeah, so this is the route I take most folks when they come into town to kind of get a real feel of the area. Pointing out different things along the way. I feel like I know so many like little tidbits about this town. It's hard to fill you with all the information, but I'll try to give you some information today. To the left here, this is a very investor-friendly area. Residential neighborhood called Sangaree that's pretty decent prices for the area. Twos and threes, older homes, 70s and 80s for the most part, with some 90s and early 2000s and some subsections there, but for the most part 40 and 50-year-old homes. A lot of ranches in there, a lot of ranches. We won't be visiting any neighborhoods today. I do want to start kind of a new series, just driving around Charleston. That way you guys can see, like I said, the real feel of this whole area, and then I'll give you my take on certain things. If you ever have any questions, leave a comment, get in touch with me. My information should be flashing across your screen. All right, so to the right, so this is Brighton Park Boulevard. So that's Nexton Square to your right side with Hall's Chop House, Bad Daddy's Burgers, the Codfather. Then there's Taco Boy and Vicious Biscuit. My office, don't forget about that. So if you ever want to visit me, I'm either there or where we're going to end this tour today is in our other office where I have my studio. And then we have another office in Mount P off of Coleman Boulevard. I'll show you guys that in another video when we're doing Mount Pleasant, Johns Island, James Island, Charleston, those areas, because I do want to tap into those as well to give you guys the real feel of those areas too. So we're about to cross I-26. I-26 runs the whole state of South Carolina. And where we are right now is exit 199 off of I-26. Downtown Charleston is 221, so it's exactly 22 miles from the onset of the off-ramp here to the onset of the off-ramp to get to downtown Charleston from here. So that's where Nexton's pretty proximal to downtown, because you can, without any traffic, you can get there in about 25 minutes. I've heard of some folks getting there in under 20, but do the math. You got to be going fast to do that. All right, and this is coming up on Azalea Square. So Azalea Square is where both sides of the road. To the left is Walmart and Belk, Lowe's, and there's a BJ's, which is kind of like the off-brand of Costco, in my opinion. Not terrible, but it's not Costco. Then to the right is Target, TJ Maxx, Kohl's. I think that's most of the notable ones in there. There's a World Market in there, Ross. My wife ventures over that direction way too often. I try to avoid this area, unlike her. Just picking. To be honest, guys, I don't know how this video is going to turn out. I usually like to be up and spunky. It's hard to stay too spunky when you're just going through the ropes of traffic. But yeah, so this is it. This is kind of the more trafficy side of Summerville too. This area here is around Azalea Square. It's Main Street is what it's called when you cross the I-26. Turns into Main Street, which pretty much after you get to 5 points that we'll address here in just a second, it's all called Main Street. Yeah, so 17 minutes so far from the start of the front of Cane Bay to here. So keep that in mind. It's about 15 to 20 minutes to shopping. Or at least to the Azalea Square side of shopping. I forgot to point it out back there, but where I was pointing out all of Nexton Square at Brighton Park, if you take a right on Brighton Park, you get further back into the residential neighborhoods. And then where we started the tour, if we would have gone straight through that stoplight where the front part of Cane Bay met the back part of Nexton, you end up on Nexton Parkway, and Nexton Parkway runs to Brighton Park Boulevard, about I think 3.5 to 4 miles down the road. So that would have been a quicker way to get to the front part of Nexton there, to take that road straight. To the left, this is another highway we have, Berlin G. Myers Parkway. It's kind of a quicker way to get to my office is that way, but to get to another main street in Summerville called Old Trolley. So Old Trolley, bunch of businesses and places to go on Old Trolley. I mean, really being a lot of sports bars and some restaurants, and then, like I said, a bunch of operating businesses people work at on the daily. And that will be where we're ending our tour, because that's where our other office is. So Earth Fair is on your left. We do have one of those here. Aldi's will be on your left too. There's Orange Theory Fitness for the fitness gurus there. Got a nice fitness community coming and already here in Summerville. Got some class type orientation style of fitnesses, and we already have a bunch of studios and big gyms with a lot more to come. Pretty excited about that. It's good to have a nice health boost in the community. Lord knows I need it. And we are about to get into the downtown Summerville area. It's my dermatologist right there. That was Highway 78 that we just crossed. Highway 78 runs to the North Charleston area. If you take a left there, if you take a right, it goes to the Knightsville area part of Summerville, but ultimately to the Ridgeville, St. George, and on up into the state from there. Major highway running through Summerville. Okay, now we're getting into the exciting part of downtown Summerville. I love this area. Always something going on. It really is a fun area. Come here with the family a few times a week. So especially when the weather gets nice, they'll have, third Thursdays all year. So third Thursday every month they do something. Then you have Fridays on the square. I think that starts in April. Fun little music festivals on Fridays from April to October-ish. That's Hutchinson Square right there on the right side that all that goes on. Then, ton of restaurants, tons of bars, some, cool things to do. You got some, like a DIY craft shop and axe throwing. Wife there again, they've got some really cool boutique stores, so she loves those. Got a couple coffee shops, pizza places. Just love this area. Got the Big Sweet Tea. Don't forget about the Big Sweet Tea. The birthplace of sweet tea. Summerville's known for. Good seafood here too. Bexley's very good, and if you don't want to spend the money there, Shuck and Shack isn't terrible either. Right to our right on Short Central. Won't be going there today, but if this has some success, I do think I'll start to do these more often. That is surprising. That took me 23 minutes. So usually it takes me 20 minutes to get from Cane Bay to downtown Summerville. But I guess, that slower way, I guess it makes sense to say that that's about 3 minutes slower. So the traffic we've just went through, and that should be about it, barring any accidents or anything of that nature. But traffic we just went through is just about the flow of traffic after 9 a.m., probably between 9 and about, another 45 minutes or so, with some days in between of just randomly having high traffic. But it is a beautiful day in March, on a Thursday. So not trying to, plan it for a certain period of time. I was actually trying to get to do this at rush hour. But I've got too many things to do this evening, so couldn't quite do that. Hoping to get back, put this on the computer, and get it posted for you guys soon. Y'all can see the date, so you'll know how long it took me. Give me some accountability. But hopefully in the next couple of days, I'll have this uploaded. All right, so now we're coming up on 5 points. So 5 points is 5 directions, 5 different intersections coming together at 5 different roads coming together at one intersection. And if you'll notice on the left there is a lot listed, one of our listings listed by yours truly. If you're looking for 2/3 of an acre and quite possibly the best location in Summerville, you know who to hit up. 160K, 2/3 of an acre. It's got access to water, sewer, and power, and a really good location because this is all considered historic downtown Summerville to the left and right now. Really beautiful area. So still on 17A. We are about to get into a couple other neighborhoods, a couple other master plan communities. I do really like this drive, and sometimes, so in about 30 minutes, this does slow down going the other direction. As you see these cars kind of passing me on the left side here, the 5 points slows it down. You know, you got a traffic light there of, like I said, an intersection of 5 different roads coming together. So there is a lot of traffic right there, a lot of which is going to be mitigated because there's a new intersection, a whole new road that's being implemented that's gonna hopefully be another cut through all of Summerville that should mitigate a lot of the traffic. But you know, you never know. It looks like they're actually made a lot of progress on the road. I'm hopefully going to show you some B-roll if I can get to it quick enough, of what that looks like and how much progress they've actually made. Because a year ago it was a flat road and just a dead end. Now they're building a bridge and an overpass over the top of Burlingame Myers, crossing over Old Trolley, and then it's going to end. I'll point out to you where it's going to end up here on the left side. So we're really excited about that. It's Burlingame Myers extension. It's been a work in progress for a long time. Thankfully, once they've actually broke ground on it, they've been moving quickly. But I was hearing about that. I know at least 10 years ago I was hearing about it. I can't remember exactly how long it's been in the works otherwise. Takes a while for things to get approved. Something like that was so necessary. I don't know why it didn't happen sooner, but can't complain now because it is happening, and just very grateful. Very grateful. Little Dixie Youth Baseball on the right, to the left back there. I didn't point it out, but that is the entrance to Summerville Country Club, another one of our public golf courses here in Summerville. Not one of the better ones, but a fun one to play. Good little track. To name all our golf courses, we got Pine Forest, Legend Oaks, Westcott Plantation, and Summerville Country Club. And this is Summerville High School on our left. So the east side of Summerville, where we were basically like at the 26 intersection, Berkeley County does go beyond that, but on that side, the other side of 26, that is Berkeley County. Where we are right now is Dorchester County. So this is the DD2 school district where we are right now. Where we were before are Berkeley County schools. guys have tuned in this long, thank you for bearing with me. You guys are troopers. Hope this hits. I never know how these are going to work out, especially when I don't put a lot of editing on it. I just don't know what the heck I could edit on this video. My creativity is going to be lacking. But nonetheless, just want to address that question of how the traffic really is in Summerville. Alright, so the entrance of that road, or the end of it rather, beginning from this side, end of it from the other side, is on the left here. I believe that's it right there to the left side. Yep, that's it. So as I said, the implementation of that in Summerville is going to be immense, incredible to actually, have a way to get on to the highway to go faster than 35 and be able to essentially cut Summerville in half, and the time to get across it in half, because you're not having to do the long stretch of Summerville. You're able to cut out a lot of the middleman, so to speak, of because 17A runs across it, but it's slow. There's a lot of stoplights, traffic lights. It just doesn't move very fast, as you just saw. When you get on Berlin Jeep, it typically moves faster for even as short as it is already, much less when it's actually a full semicircular road. Right. So this is the Ponds. The Ponds has the 55 plus community of Crestwind in it. And then if you follow along with our other videos, Cane Bay, where we were, has a 55 plus. Nexton has a 55 plus, and then we're gonna the last community we'll probably see, or one of the last ones we'll see, is Summers Corner. But that was the Ponds that we just passed, another master plan community here in Summerville. And now we're getting to pretty much the furthest west points in Summerville. We're almost to Highway 61, and just past Highway 61 is where Summerville ends from the westernmost standpoint. That's pretty much where Summers Corner is, so we'll see it in just a second. I don't know, I might speed this up in certain parts to take out all the, I just don't have much to say right now. Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to fill you in as I can, but there's not really much to fill you in on here. They've been doing a bunch of construction on the right side. I think they're just digging it deeper to give water more places to go for all the development, which kind of makes me nervous, because I don't really like them digging that close to the road, but I'm not a civil engineer by any means, but it does make me nervous when you have that so close to the road. Right, so that's the first entrance to Summers Corner there. We're going to take the second one because I want you guys to, like I said, see the furthest most point west in Summerville. A lot of swampy land to the right of us, as you'll see. And to the left is Summers Corner. Alright, so that ends our trip on 17A. Now we're going to take 61 up, or down rather. Now 61 doesn't necessarily end right here where you see there's actually an extension a little further down this road that there's a continuation of 61. You can take 61 north to, oh man, I don't even know how far it goes. I believe it goes all the way through the state, at least most of the way up towards Aiken. And then you can take it this way. It leads you actually directly down into Charleston. Pretty much ends at the it ends in Charleston. You have to go across the Ashley River Bridge to get to Charleston, but that Ashley River Bridge is a continuation of 61 as well. And that's what we're on right now is Highway 61, where also the plantations are on. So you have Magnolia, Drayton Hall, Runnymede, and Middleton Place. Alright, so to the right is the 55 plus community, Horizons in Summerville. We have a listing coming up in there. Stay tuned for that. Rawlings Middle School to our right. This is the residential side of Summers Corner. So they have, looks like Food Truck Wednesday this Wednesday. I guess that was yesterday. Always something going on in Summers Corner. Really, really nice little neighborhood. You know, the negatives I hear to Summers Corner are that it's a little further out, but you know, now you have exact perspective of what you want to determine as what further out is. Some people love it, some people don't. Lennar is the only builder for new construction there, and they have resale in the front. They had 5 other builders as far as the resale in the front is concerned. So if you don't like the current builder, there's other options that they didn't necessarily build, and if you do like the current builder, there are plenty of options for what they're doing. They have 3 different neighborhoods coming along now, including the 55 plus. To the left is Drayton Oaks, community by Crescent Homes. They ended up selling out probably about 2 years ago now. To the right here is the club at Legend Oaks. So that's the gated section of Legend Oaks. Nice little neighborhood there. This is one of our other golf courses. Actually, my favorite golf course in this part of town. The favorite golf course in Charleston for the money. I think Stono Ferry, and this one probably I could put in that category. I love Stono. Just Stono has competitive pricing, so Basically, they'll, depending on demand, it's more if it has a higher demand than if it has a lower demand slot time. So as a non-member of that particular course, kind of makes me a little more eerie to play there. But that's just more of an FYI. But two good golf courses. If you haven't caught on, I'm a big golfer. But whether you are or aren't, I'm sure we can still get along. So up here to the right and left actually is Legend Oaks. So this is the main section of Legend Oaks Plantation, the residential side, and you can get the entrance to the clubhouse on the right side there. Like I said, this is DD2 school zoned here for Beach Hill Elementary, which we're passing on the left side here. Hope you guys are liking it. Like I said, give me a like, give me a comment if you did enjoy this. It's much different from what we've done so far. But I've been wanting to mix it up, to do something a little differently for you guys, and I'll get better at it along the way too, constantly kind of adding things to the arsenal of our equipment and our ideas. I do want to continue doing this if you guys want to continue having me do it. I do think I'll try to get a camera to point to me, to at least have me in this, but for this first one, didn't arrange for that, so I do apologize, guys. Minutes. That's interesting. So this is Highway 61 there again, that we're about to leave to get on to Bacon's Bridge, or Highway 165. So if we take a right here, you go to Ashley Ridge High School, and then also Homecoming is another area there down that direction. If I go straight here, that's where Watson Hill is on the right up there, and then like I was telling you before, that's where the plantations are, and then leads you into West Ashley, which leads you into to the Ashley River Bridge, which leads you into Charleston. But we're taking a left on 165, which turns into Bacon's Bridge Road. If you live on this side of town, which is, like I said, the negative to this side of town is you just have to drive to things. You're a little further away, not really golf cartable to things or walkable. I always say golf cartable because so many have one here. It's very popular. We ride ours all the time. But you've got a neighborhood Walmart that's kind of the closest thing to here. It's like where you can get your, everyday groceries type of thing. But then if you're a little more peculiar with your choices, or peculiar is probably not the right word, but if you need other options, you have Harris Teeter, about 10 minutes away, Publix, which we'll pass Publix. I'm actually gonna probably go get a sub from Publix right now because I haven't had lunch yet. You have Publix as an option too, and then you have Lowe's Foods, which I don't know if you've been to Lowe's Foods yet or not. I don't know if they have those where you guys are, but don't sleep on that place. Really good meat. If you are a craft brew guy or girl, you can walk through with a beer in hand while you're shopping. So there's that. And it's, like good produce, good meats. It's a little more on the pricey side than the other options. I we love Lowe's Foods for the meats and the craft brews, then Aldi's for a lot of what we need to get, which there's an Aldi's down this road to the right here too, which we're taking a right on Dorchester Road right now. And then we do mix between Harris Teeter and Publix for the bakery and the deli. So we're on Dorchester Road, which Dorchester Road ends right at the front entrance of the ponds, and on the north end of it. On the south end, it actually ends just north of Charleston, of downtown Charleston. Ends pretty much at the in the North Charleston area, but the southernmost point of North Charleston, which is just north of downtown Charleston. To the right is Ashboro, another one of our mature neighborhoods. Really beautiful neighborhood. Older homes, but have a lot of character to it. Some of which are kind of just strangely laid out homes, but some of which are just very unique and really well laid out homes. Kind of seen both here recently, between like the weirdest 3,000 square foot layout you've ever seen that doesn't feel like 3,000 square feet, and then a 2,500 square foot one that feels like it's 3,500 square feet with how it's laid out. Never know what you're going to get in the older neighborhoods with custom homes. And up here is the intersection it's the other entrance to Ashboro on our right, and then Ashboro East is on our left. Another, probably a step up from Ashboro as far as the quality of homes are concerned. It's really, really nice. There again, custom homes, more estately than Ashboro is, but both great neighborhoods in their own right. This is one of the busier roads in Charleston. Dorchester Road is. It gets backed up at all times of day in certain areas. On the Summerville side, not so much until you hit the Westcott area, and around Latson Road is decently bad too. But within that same range and same time frame I was talking about earlier, 9 to about 3:30 or 4, it's pretty good. What time is it now? 3:42. Alright, so we are coming to a close on our tour today. We're going to be taking a left on Old Trolley Road, one of the roads I was describing earlier. Having a bunch of things going on. Banks, some shopping, some sports bars, some restaurants, grocery stores. And I should mention while we have a plane flying above us now, so this is one of the directions you would take to get to the international airport. It's just down this road. Probably about 20 minutes from here, barring traffic. I would give yourself 40, just in case, because like I said, this is one of those roads that does, probably add 20 to 30 minutes to your commute at its worst times. Maybe more than that. If there's an accident, things change, for as far as guessing timing, because it literally stops the road here. I've never seen anything like it in any other place that I've been, but it will take out the road for an hour or two on the simplest accident. Just something to look out for. All right. right, hopefully we can catch this light. Oh no. Oh no. I can't do that. Judge me if you may, but that would have been running it. Even though it's a blinking yellow now. As you see some of the congestion starting here. I'm interested to see what the feedback is though, because everyone that I know of from bigger cities, it's laughable traffic aside from the ones who have gotten spoiled from living here. Pardon, emergency vehicles passing. Everyone's okay. But then those that are from smaller places or more rural than here are, you know, under the impression it is bad traffic here because it's, yeah, I think it's all relative, obviously. But depending on where you're from and what you're used to, don't take what people say about a place too seriously until you see it for yourself. Hopefully, ultimately, I'm giving you guys that feeling of almost seeing it for yourself before you even come. But that is up for speculation because I'm interested to see what you guys think after putting this online. All right, so now we are on Old Trolley Road. Oh, that was a risky move. Oh my goodness. Ay, ay, ay. Wow. Okay. Jeez Louise. Not as much going on this side of things. The fire station on your right, coming up on Fitness Center on your right as well, and then the Publix up here gets a little busier as you go a little further down it. Just not much to say about this area. So we've got Mexican restaurant on the left. Actually, Dog and Duck, really good bar food there. For bar food, it is some of the best in town, in my opinion. You know, I wish I could show you more, but I guess we'll save more for a future video. We are pulling into the office now, so if you're ever over this direction, I'm usually either at one of our three offices. You know, between here is pretty much where I do all of my editing, and we have our podcast that we're starting up, and a studio that we have some of our agents operating out of too. Then, like I said, we have the Nexton office, and then we have the one on Coleman Boulevard in Mount Pleasant. So that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys have a general sense of the flow of traffic here in Summerville. As always, if you have any questions, leave a comment, get in touch. My information is on your screen right now. I will see you guys in the next one.